Thank you for joining us on this ceasefire moment. Grace versus law. We're continuing to look at the commandments and what ones we're able to keep and what ones we may no longer be able to keep. This is all about worship. This is God telling us how He likes to be worshiped, and we might learn something in this. Believe in Yahweh is the only source of power in the universe. Submit to Yahweh as the supreme head, to be the unity with Yahweh. Love Yahweh with all your heart, soul, and might. And we've heard that one before, straight out of Jesus' mouth. Reverence Yahweh by keeping His laws. Serve Yahweh. Hold fast to Yahweh. Taking an oath by Yahweh's name. Walking in Yahweh's ways. Sanctifying Yahweh's name. Read, study, and meditate the book of the law. Teach the book of the law to our children. Bind the law upon our hand, that it is supposed to be a sign. The various laws that God gave out are to be a sign on our hand and on our forehead. And if you know anything about Revelation, that should trigger some things that you think about. And if you read Revelation, it actually talks about the people who have the sign on their hands and on their forehead from Yahweh. And so often we talk about the mark of the beast, but there actually is a mark for those who are followers of Yahweh, and it happens to be the law. Bind or write the law upon your minds. That's the hands and the forehead. Make tzitzis on the corner of your talits. Now, point to the tzitzi was that you wore it on the corners of your garment or the fringes, so that you would remember the law. And it's very interesting because we don't see this, but in our New Testament, those who reached out to the hem of Christ's garment, it wasn't really the hem that they were reaching for. They wanted to touch the tzitzis that were hanging from His garment. Preach and publish Yahweh's laws. Gather for the reading of the laws every 7th year. A king must acquire and apply the book of the law. Acquire the book of the law. Be thankful to Yahweh in prayer, praise, and deed. You must not blaspheme the holy name of Yahweh, professing to keep Yahweh's laws, yet practicing sin. And sin is not keeping His law. Do not break an oath or a vow made in the name of Yahweh. Do not take Yahweh's name and bring it to nothing by hiding Yahweh's name. Now, a thing about name is in the Old Testament, when it says name, it's more about the essence of a person. We talk about not, ruining the family name. It's the same thing. It's kind of like, you don't want to bring disgrace. If you're going to say that you're a follower of Yahweh's, then you should represent Him well. In addition to, you should walk in His ways because you're representing Him in the essence of who He is. This concludes this episode of this ceasefire moment. Thank you for joining us, and we hope you learned something.